Hello children, welcome to channel Sube. Today I am going to discuss question number 25 of 2019 physics new syllabus, the MCQ paper. An air mass in a cyclone moves around its eye in a spiral path as shown in the figure. The velocity of the air mass at a radial distance of 80 km from the center of the eye is 150 km per hour. What could be the velocity of the same air mass at a radial distance of 40 km from the center of the eye? So there are 5 answers. So let's suppose the air mass is this, the same air mass, same mass is same. So at first it's at 80 km, this one. So this one is the first instant, then this one is the second instant. Therefore let's take this length, this distance as r1, this distance as r2 from the eye. They say this center is eye. So the velocity v1 is given here 150. Velocity 150. So velocity here v2, that we don't know. So say the omega here is omega 1, the omega here is omega 2, because the radius is different, therefore the omega we have to take as omega 1 and omega 2. So what is the theory we are going to use here? The conservation of angular momentum. What is it? I1 omega 1 equals I2 omega 2. So what is I1? I is the momentum of inertia. So I equals, what is I for a point object like this? For a point object, m r squared, mr squared. Then I1 is m r1 squared, I2 is m r2 squared. When the distance change, the value of the momentum of inertia also change, therefore the mass same, mm. Then we have to substitute it here. Instead of I1, m r1 squared, then omega 1. Instead of I2, m r2 squared, then omega 2. We used these two here. Then we have to get the relationship with this v, not with omega. Therefore we have to use the equation v equals r omega. So v1 equals r1 omega 1, v2 equals r2 omega 2, because what they want us to find is the velocity v2. What we have to find is v2, this one. Therefore we have to get the relationship with velocity. So instead of omega, we can substitute omega 1 equals v1 divided by r1. So here m cancel, no? Then r1 squared, instead of omega 1, but we can write v1 divided by r1 equals, here omega 2, instead of r2 squared, instead of omega 2, here omega 2 equals v2 divided by r2, v2 divided by r2. Then 1 r cancel like this. Then r1 v1 equals r2 v2. Now almost done. R1 is 80, v1 is 150. 80 times 150 equals R2 is 40 times v2. So simplify 2 times, then v2 equals 300 kilometer per hour. So that must be the answer, 300 kilometer per hour. So children, I think you understood. This is not a big issue. Just you have to use these equations. If you know these 3 equations, it is done. So thank you very much, children. Are you happy? If you are happy, please subscribe my channel. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.